Guys, what are we looking at on the table in front of us? Well, that is the Precision Knife Works Wharentac prototype. This is a pre-production knife. This is a prototype that is being released soon. You're going to be able to order them from Daniel over at Precision Knife Works as we speak, I believe. So, guys, don't scroll away. Don't leave. This is going to be fun. Let's turn this around and take a look at this incredible knife from above. Guys, I'm excited about this. I'm really happy that Daniel's getting this to market. This is the Precision Knife Works Wharentac. So this is a frame lock flipper. This thing is great. I don't have a spec sheet because this is a pre-order. Daniel did send me a sheet of paper. It has all the specs on it. So we are looking at a 3.6 ounce, 8 inch overall folder done in a Wharncliffe configuration, 3.5 inch blade with a handle length of 4.5 inches. This thing is light, and the cool thing about it is, guys, you ready? The behind the edge thickness on this is 0.018. It is very thin behind the edge. So now that we got the specs and everything out of the way, there, like I said, this is a pre-order, and you can go to precisionknifeworks.com and look it up and see what options they want, but there's gonna be some finish options you can get that are not listed. So that specs out of the way, let's go ahead and do some quick size comparisons. Your first knife is going to be the Artisan Sea Snake, my little Sea Snake fixed blade. I figured I'd throw two really good Wharncliffes next to each other. You can see my Sea Snake is a small fixed blade. This is not a small knife. It's just it's kind of in that Goldilocks zone on size. So your next knife's going to be the Ferrum Forge Knife Works Production Stinger. So you can see it's a good bit bigger than this knife. This is not a real big knife, but I thought it was a nice little knife to throw in here. So as always, your final knife for size comparison is going to be the Chris Ray Spenza Large 21, and you can see tail to tail, tip to tip, pivot to pivot. They are just about the same size. So let's get this out of the way and let's talk about this knife because it's a lot of fun. All right, so let's crack into this. This knife has impressed me every step of the way. Now, I do have a disclaimer. This is the prototype. It is not ground as thin as it will be in the final production. As I said, they will be 0.018. This is thicker than that. This is a prototype. But I will say this thing cuts like a laser. So, really well ground 20 CV blade, comes down to a really nice piercing tip, perfectly straight Wharncliffe blade. You can see there's some hiccups on the grind on this, but it is a prototype. Huge aperture on this that gives you really good access to the only form of deployment, which is reverse flick. Well, I mean, you can two-hand it, obviously, but like for flipping action, there's just that right there. But not only is that a huge aperture to give you access, you're using that as some weight reduction because this is a very light knife. For the size and the way it feels in hand, it's deceptive. Looking at it, it's deceptive how light it is. Lots of weight reduction in that. Like I said, back to the blade. Really good jimping, sweeps up right into these scales we're going to talk about in a second. Onto that jimping that is just in a natural position for your thumb. It does not roll out of the direction of the cut, feels really good in hand. You can get up on that blade and do some detail cutting. Really nice tip on this that comes down for a lot of good small tasks. And then, like I said, the blade transitions perfectly smoothly into the handles. There's no step up or anything there. It's just naturally down the scale. So if you're holding it here or here, you can just slide right up. Pretty plain finish on that. Not a lot of billboarding on these scales. Just the logo right there, PKW. Single-sided pivot and just like 2 screws on each side for hardware, and a very, very nice pocket clip on this. So. Oh yeah, last thing to mention, really, really good access to the lock bar on this titanium frame lock. And the cutout for the lock bar tension is on the inside. In and out of pockets, smooth as butter. No problems on this. And the pocket clip is even candid off a little bit so that there's no tension on the lock bar. It's not pushing down on the lock bar. Like if you're grabbing it like this, you're not putting extra tension on that lock bar with this for disengagement or any of those things that you might run into problems. And a single point reversible pocket clip with a placeholder here to keep dirt out of it. So now, as far as use, this thing cuts so good. It's just so smooth. Even with it not being as thin as the final design will be, this thing cuts so well. And a lot of it has to do with the ergos on it and just being able to put the pressure in the right place and just a decent edge and blade design. The whole thing transitions from heel to tip in one good clean radius. There's no hot spots. There's nothing back here. I can honestly tell you, I could not find a hot spot on this knife, not even in the cutout and stuff here. So overall, this thing has been great. The action on it is really good. It's a very light knife with a very light blade, so don't expect a lot of like drop sheddiness, but it is just shake home smooth. It's not at all an issue just shaking it home a little bit. Lockup on it's really good, and the detent is just beautiful. Ceramic detent ball, ceramic bearings. I always forget I neglect to put that information out because usually it's in the spec sheet, but like I said, we don't have a spec sheet on this. So QSP is his OEM for this, but he's selling it under his own brand. These are going to be available at PrecisionKnifeWorks.com. So there are a couple things I have noticed about this knife, and they are all just little minor things. So let's go ahead and flip this around and do the negative things real quick, and it's not going to be a lot. All right, the flip side of it. There's only a couple small little things. The finish on these handles, and I know that there's going to be other finish options, and I do know that this is a prototype. I had to be really careful with this. This finish, this just like glass blast finish on titanium is really easy to scratch. So if this is a knife, like if you're a guy that doesn't like to like scratch his knives up, I was ever so cautious using this knife because it's not mine and it is a prototype. But it did get used. The edge and everything held up really well, but I was very careful on how I carried this. I didn't put keys in my pocket or anything with this. So no snail trails or anything like that. But it definitely is one of those things that like, if that's something you look for in a knife, that finish could be problematic. The pocket clip. I am not a fan of single point screw pocket clips because even though that has been milled out, you can see that there's some movement on that because you only have that single point. I wish that this was either a lot deeper down in the material or it just had two screws. I prefer to have screws that are spread this way other than, you know, north. I'd rather go east west versus north south on the screw pattern, but I'm not a big fan of single point screws. And then just the final thing, I know that this not necessarily me. I don't dislike a flipper aperture only deployment, like reverse flick only, but a lot of people are going to want more than one method. This could have easily had a small flipper tab on it right here. You had the room for it. You could have easily done a flipper tab on that, just a small one, and it wouldn't really have detracted too much from the knife. So if that's something that, like, if you don't like reverse flick, this might not be a knife for you. I do have to say all of the hardware is beautifully nested and flush and clean. So great knife. Like I said, they are $249, basically $250, $249.99 pre-orders for Conus. So go over and check it out. It is PrecisionKnifeWorks.com. So Daniel was kind enough to send this along, and I did get to use it a lot, and I really do like it. I can't wait to see how they come out the full production with that super thin behind the edge grind. So guys, that's it. Let's turn this around and send you back about your day. Yeah, guys, I really do like this knife. I like this a lot. I think that the production versions, the full versions, are going to be so good. If they can get that grind down to 0.018 and keep it consistent, it's going to be amazing. This thing already cuts good. So look forward to that. Go check out PrecisionKnifeWorks.com and take a look at what they've got offered. Daniel has been cool enough to send me a lot of stuff. Daniel has been a big supporter of the channel for a while now. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got on this one. Guys, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please tell me why. I can't change content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications set to all, or you won't get notified of everything I do every day. And make sure you got notifications turned on your device. Likes are the best thing you can do for a channel. I say this all the time. If you're watching a video for more than 30 seconds, you haven't dropped a like, you're not doing the channels. You're doing the channels you love a disservice. So there's that. If you want to support the channel financially, I have one preferred method right now. It's the biggest preferred method I have right now. Coffee Brand Coffee. Jeremy over at The Quartering has helped us support this channel. He's done shout outs on Twitter for me and stuff like that. He is currently banned on Twitter for a BS reason. If you could just go use my affiliate link, check out his coffees, teas, and cocos. You don't have to buy it. Just check them out. They're really good. I recommend the French toast. But there are a bunch of other affiliate links down below on Amazon. Anything you purchase on those links, don't just look at it like, oh, I clicked on that, I have to buy that. That's not it. Anything you purchase, once you click on that link, I get credit for it. Supports the channel, doesn't cost you anything at checkout. It's just like a door into my affiliate store, any one of those links. So. And the other way you can do it is I have got a membership down below. It's tier-based. Everyone has access to my Gilded server. It's just like Discord. Baseline and premium tier members. Geez, Mike. Geez. Baseline and premium tier members are automatically entered into giveaways I do on the Gilded server. Premium tier members have access to a sharpening tutorial series that's here on YouTube behind that paywall. So that's it. I do have a merchandise store where you can save 10% on my merchandise or other people's merchandise down below. Coupon code is CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It makes it easier for me to moderate the channel. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I'll see you in the next video.